JRTV is proud to bring the 2004 NASCAR Nextel Cup Series season to you here at the Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama. This is the Aaron's 499, this 2.66 mile high banked racetrack. We're going to be seeing pack style racing all day long, and 42 drivers, every single one of them woke up today knowing they have a shot to win here today at the Talladega Superspeedway. I'm Joe Rakowski. Alongside me in the booth, it is three-time NASCAR Nextel Cup Series champion Trey Bardo. Trey, great to be back here at the Talladega Superspeedway. One of the most chaotic races that we've seen this in any season of competition here in the Nextel Cup Series. And after the craziness we saw last week at Montreal with chaos all around and different cars getting spun around and guys maybe getting angry at each other, the drivers were hoping maybe for a week of rest, but now they come to an even more intense racetrack, Talladega, where they have to run inches apart for 38 laps here today.
Yeah, if you thought there was going to be no anger this week, you're going to be wrong, because, Joe, with these guys and how stressful this type of racing is, one wrong push, I mean, even if it just gets them out of whack, right, they're still going to be pretty upset about that, because that could have been a lot worse. So, you know, these guys got to be careful with how they, you know, really manipulate and manage their race today. But with the tempers already high from last week, I think they're just going to get a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for, agitated today.
There's a lot of ways that people have described Talladega racing in the past, and none of them have really been positive, right? A lot of it has been if you're stuck in a traffic jam on the highway, but instead of, you know, going maybe 20, 30 miles an hour, if you're stuck in that traffic jam, you're going 190 miles an hour. That's something that probably isn't too fun for drivers. We've also heard stuff like racing around in some sort of bowl, like a cereal bowl, and you're kind of just going around and you're hoping that you get out in one piece, you get your car out in one piece, and that's been the trend of Talladega over the past few races. We've seen some races go caution-free to the end, but we've seen a lot of races, Trey, have multiple big accidents. I think about this race last season where Conrad Evans won, but we had not only the big one, but the long one. There was a wreck up in turns 3 and 4, and they continued wrecking all the way into the tri-oval. So, Trey, anything can happen here. We could get a big wreck here today, and it's very likely we do get a big wreck because it just takes one small mistake. However, there's also the possibility this race goes caution-free all the way.
Yeah, 100%. You really never know what the outcome of this race is going to be, but everyone knows that the one thing they do want to do is that you got to be up in the front of this pack by the time we hit, honestly, probably say 2 to go, right? Because at that point, once you hit 2 to go, you're like, all right, how do I get out front and lead this thing? And then at 1 to go, you're like, all right, how do I get back to the line with my car in one piece?
Exactly that. So we'll have to see who can time it right here today at the Talladega Superspeedway to try and win the Aaron's 499 here in the 2004 Nextel Cup Series season. In fact, yesterday qualifying even had some drama of its own. 4 cars failed post-qualifying inspection, 2 of which had already missed the show on speed, and they just kind of had insult to injury, but 2 of them were starting inside the top 10. Matt was set to start in 6th, Evan Hunter set to start in 7th. They have to both go to the back of the field, so Evan, who's won here twice, Matt never really had success here at Talladega, will have to come from the last row. We'll have to see how fun they're going to be moving their way through the field here today at the Talladega Superspeedway. We'll take a look at the track facts before we get going. It's a nice day for racing here at the Talladega Superspeedway, a track which is 2.66 miles in length, and that's 4.28 kilometers. This is a 38-lap race that's just over 101 miles. No pit stop required here today, but if a caution comes out and some teams maybe think they want to make some adjustments or put some tires on, they do have the option to do so. 33 degrees of banking in the corners, 18 degrees in the tri-oval, and nearly 3 degrees of banking on the straightaways. And now the 8 drivers that missed the race here today at Talladega: Skylar Taylor, the 09, Max Davis in the 21, David Dixon, who failed post-qualifying inspection, the 39, Nathan Norman, the 41, Colin Teague, the 49, Marcus Lairp in the 50, Joe Staubs in the 51, and Angel Gutierrez, the other car to fail post-qualifying inspection, in car number 70. So we'll have to see how it all plays out here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Let's go to the track set, fire the cars up for the Aaron's 499 here at Talladega.
Drivers, start your engine!
42 cars come to life, filing off pit road for the Aaron's 499 here at the Talladega Superspeedway. And Trey, the fans over the week got to vote on their pick for this one. They picked a really good one. Justin Atkins's car number 3 was the audience pick to win here today, 46% of the vote. Atkins, in his 10 starts this season, he only has 1 finish better than 15th. However, though, in 6 starts here at Talladega, Trey, he has 4 top 10, so he's always been good at these drafting style super speedway races.
Yeah, 100%. So we'll have to see if he can get that number 3 up to the front here and hopefully come away with a win. But again, Joe, you just never know what's going to happen.
All right, Trace, now let's get to our picks. What name did you just randomly pull out of a hat to try and win this race here today?
I went with a guy by the name of Matt Tuck. I mean, he's the type of guy whenever we come to a track like this, Joe, I feel like at some point we're saying, well, here comes Matt Tuck to take the lead.
And remember, last time out in the Aaron's 499 last season, this race, Matt Tuck nearly won it and finished in second to the eventual winner, Conrad Evans. So Matt Tuck has super speedway experience, has experience running up at the front at the end. We'll have to see if he can transfer it to Ability Racing number 23 car. His teammate just a few rows in front of him as well. Maybe they can work together and try and get up to the front. Well, you picked Matt Tuck, and Trey, I originally was going to pick Matt Tuck, but you had the first pick this week, and I've decided to go with the car that he drove to second place last season. The man behind the wheel is Zachary Fitzwater Sr., PPI Motorsports, as mentioned, second in this race last season with Tuck behind the wheel. Now we have Fitzwater in this car, who, honestly, he said he hates these super speedway races. He hates these drafting style racetracks, this pack racing. However, he's found some success here over the past, and he finds his way to the front of the field mostly every time we come to a super speedway. So I think Zachary Fitzwater Sr., he's going to time it right and get another win in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series in that number 32. But there's a lot of other drivers, 40 others, that we did not mention of our picks that can try and get it done here today, including pole sitter Riley Spurgeon, his 3rd pole of the season, his 2nd straight at a super speedway. You have Matthew Burnett, you have Sarah Kirshner looking for her first ever win, you have Crown Jr. and Conrad Evans looking to go back-to-back in the Aaron's 499. Here's the green flag. We're underway at Talladega for race number 11 of the season. Well, Trey, it looks like a formation lap right now, but that's just them building speed with the restrictor plates on the engine. It takes about a lap to a lap and a half to get up to full song over 190 miles an hour, and you can see right there they're starting to gain speed as Sarah Kirchner, with help from teammate Conrad Evans, moves to the front of the field in turns 3 and 4 in lap 1, shuffling Riley Spurgeon beside RCR out in front early on in the Aaron's 499.
You know, I feel like it's RCR that has the most disagreements within an organization, but at the same time, they always seem to want to help each other when it comes to races like this, right, Joe? And especially these two right here. I don't think there's teammates that disagree with each other more, but yet at the same time, they're so good at working with each other on super speedways.
Yes, they are. We've seen it in the past where they help each other get to the front. The problem is they don't help each other stay at the front. They want to get the lead for themselves and get away. They've pulled a few cars clear single file with them. Kirchner, Evans, Webb, and Luke running up the back straightaway. Here comes Drew Webb looking to break up the RCR bunch, going for a second, but no one goes with him. And Trey, that's where that yellow stripe on the back bumper could start to hurt Drew Webb at a track like this, where everyone's like, wait, he's a rookie, I don't want to go with him. But you can see Zachary DeLello made the big move 3 wide to the bottom, so Webb's going to move to second. DeLello's going to try and look for third here. Most of the pack double file off turn number 4, and here comes Eli Bright in a very new Budweiser paint scheme, moving on the inside, kind of an outdoorsy paint scheme here at Talladega, moving up with teammate Ryan Wilson helping him out.
Yeah, at this point in the race, right, we're only 2 laps in, and now taking lap 3, I should say, but everyone's still kind of really hesitant on what their car is going to handle, like how they're going to, really get the mental state going, because this is the biggest pack they've raced in all week long, and it's some of the scariest stuff, right? Because you don't know what one small quick decision could end up your race, and at the moment, everyone's still kind of figuring out who they want to work with, how their car handles in a pack like this. So don't expect anything major, big move-wise to come out, but at some point we will see something like that.
It's always interesting to watch the practice sessions at a track like Daytona or Talladega where, no one really goes out there in a big pack, and it's interesting to see, do they go out there in just a 2-car draft? Do they go out there in a 3 or 4 or 5-car draft? Do they go out there with all their teammates? Do they go out there by themselves? It's always interesting to see how it plays out in practice at Talladega, and now here for the first time in the week, Trey, as you mentioned, this is the first time they go out there, they get in this big pack, and the first time they're around 41 other cars, so they have to be careful when making moves. Sarah Kirshner, though, her car loves the front of the field right now. She stayed out in front. Ryan Wilson has made some big moves to move up to second. Drew Webb trying to keep third. Jude Martinelli, runner-up last time at Talladega, in a near photo finish with Evan Hunter. Martinelli moving up for fourth on Zarco DeLello. Ryan Wilson peeking out on Kirchner. Can't make the move quite yet. Sarah still holding the lead. Wilson second, Webb in third. Then you have Jude Martinelli fourth, and here comes Fitzwater up for fifth. Behind in the pack, they're looking 3 and 4 wide back there.
I got to be careful here because you don't want to make anything risky this early in the race, and it looks like they're going to fan it out a little bit, but still kind of keeping a little consistent. I might see 4 wide there, a little farther back. I think I do, Joe. Got to be careful here.
Oh,
contact,
no.
Contact, more.
Oh,
and
no!
Around.
And big crash, that 4 wide start at Miller, Hunter. Nathan
2
Stapleton.
teammates involved.
Yep, Joe Gibbs Racing. That's 2 of the drivers up there in points. They're trying to run down Jay Randall involved. We're racing back to the caution flag early on lap number 5. And Trey, both of the cars that field inspection started at the back got involved in that. That's why, you know, even though track position doesn't really matter, you don't want to get involved in the early stuff by starting at the back of the field.
Yeah, that just shows you what can happen here. But right now, Sarah Kircher's going to take us back to the line. She has a demanding lead in the travel. Bring it back down. Drew Webb's going to follow her. And coming to the yellow, and we can rest.
Yep, Sarah Kirchner. Well, not yet, Trey. They still have to slow it down. They have to sort it out because they're still 2 and 3 wide, right? They're still technically pack racing at this point.
Yeah, that's sometimes scarier than the actual pack racing itself. Right here, a little disagreement between Matt and Tuck, maybe. Oh,
ooh, that was close. I don't know if Tuck and
wonder what happened there.
Knew Martinelli was on the outside, but if they went up just a little bit more, all 3 cars would have been in the outside concrete, and obviously Martinelli would have been very upset with that because he had nothing to do with it. But everyone else has gotten it sorted out, slowed down. The caution flag is out early on lap number 5. 2 Joe Gibbs cars involved, Chris Jericho, Mathis Wells, Nathan Stapleton involved, so was Evan Hunter and Jacob Miller. First caution of the day in the Aaron's 499. We'll go check out what happened here at the back of the field at Talladega. Entering into the trial, Nathan Stapleton thought he saw a hole to the inside to make it 4 wide, and he does just that. But the unfortunate part is, at a track like Talladega, it looks like it's wide enough for 4 wide, but just one small mistake and one small incident could cause a big crash. And right here, Hunter, Miller, and Stapleton get together. They're moving down to the end sign. At this point, they're basically on the flat. They're on the apron. They're trying to control their cars. They're trying to slow it down and merge up onto the pack. But the unfortunate part, Stapleton comes up, wipes out Miller up into Hunter. They get into Jericho and Wells, spin them up the racetrack. Jericho and Stapleton take hard hits. Hunter and Miller hit. Mathis Wells hit, and Trey, I mean, that's some big names. 3 drivers up there in the top 10 in points trying to chase down the points there. Jacob Miller, who had a very solid stretch of races, and Nathan Stapleton looking for something good to happen in his career. And right here, all 5 of those cars involved, and really Jacob Miller, the only one who gets away with just minimal damage.
Yeah, Mean Girls might be Mad Girls at this point with the very aggressive move that Stapleton made there. But it's just a product of Talladega racing, and that's what you're going to end up getting.
Yep, that's how it works out when they race in packs like this. We'll go take a look once again at full speed. Here's another view, Trey, and I mean, the disappointing part of this, Trey, is that this happened so early in the race. I mean, for some of these guys, they probably didn't even get to work up a sweat.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, in one wreck, you take out one entire team there, and you take out half of another one, and a half of another one, and a quarter of another one. So, I mean, but again, that just shows you that these guys don't know what their cars are going to handle like in packs like this, and 4 wide move, your car is not going to like that very much, and it takes out a couple of guys with it, especially a guy who has very good luck here in that 36.
Yep, Evan Hunter, a 2-time Talladega winner, but every other race he's had here, he's never had a top 10 besides those wins. Mathis Wells in the number 20 has never had a top 10 here. That looks like that's going to continue. Chris Jericho has a win here, but otherwise very inconsistent, and that's going to be the negative end of the spectrum for all those drivers here today. For Sarah Kirchner, so far very positive. She's led every single lap, and she'll try and hold on for this first restart of the day. Drew Webb, the rookie, right behind her. Coming back to the green flag here in the Aaron's 499 at Talladega, we'll complete the 9th lap and start the 10th once they cross the line next time by. 2 cars to the garage and done. Chris Jericho, for the second straight week, going to have a disappointing end to his day. Remember, last week at Montreal, running second contact with the lap car. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. sent him into the wall in the final chicane, and now here today involved in an early accident at Talladega. And Nathan Stapleton, who was looking for the upset here today, has also taken his car to the garage. 3 other cars involved in the crash are still out there. Jacob Miller, they've done a good job repairing that number 9 car. It might not be as fast as some of the guys around him. However, he should be up to a pretty decent speed even if he does lose the draft. But Evan Hunter, Matt as well, they took some hard hits. They're out there trying to get whatever points they can, trying to salvage, because once again, they're up there in that championship fight. They're up there trying to stay close to Jay Brando. And at the moment, they're not having good luck here today. They'll try and get whatever they can, maybe hope another crash or 2 happens so they can gain some spots that way. At the front, Sarah Kirchner currently leads. She has 4 starts here at Talladega, but her average finish is 28.3. It's kind of the polar opposite to her luck and success at Daytona. Drew Webb making his first ever start here in second. Keyshawn Richardson on a very weird stretch of a season. Trey, he has no top 5s, only 1 top 10, but he sits 13th in the points, and he's currently on a streak of no top 10s in 7 races. That ties his career long. He'll hope to break that here today. Then you have Fitzwater in 4th. Ryan Wilson picked up his first top 10 this season last race at Montreal. He's in 5th. Then you have Ahmed Walid in 6th, Jude Martinelli 7th, Anthony Hernandez in 8th, 9th to Zach DeLello, 10th to Matt Tuck. So here we go. First restart of the day. Sarah Kirchner, she's led every single lap so far. She'll look to continue that in this restart. The green flag is back out here at Talladega. Nice jump for her. She gets away by about a car length over Drew Webb. Webb a little bit slower, allows Keyshawn Richardson looking to the outside for 2nd place. That allows a hold to the bottom for Fitzwater to move for 3rd. And now Richardson shuffled out of line, left out to dry. No one to go with that number 99 Ford from Roush Racing.
He has no teammates, Joe, and that's gonna hurt him. He's got a teammate now 2 cars back of him, but looks like they're gonna go to the bottom here. So Richardson, well, he's trying to get up there.
Yep, so that's Zachary DeLello looking to try and get up there, maybe help his teammate out as Ryan Wilson moves down low for 3rd. Kirchner and Webb trying to build speed. They stay single file for now. Wilson moving for 3rd as mentioned. Here comes Ahmed Walid, who started well here today. Jude Martinelli make his way up from 19th place on the grid as they all come off turn 4 trying to build speed up into the tri-oval. Wilson going for 2nd on Drew Webb down to the inside, allowing Sarah Kirchner to keep that lead trace. So far, this number 33, she's led the first 10 laps of the Aaron's 499 here at Talladega, but a challenge coming from behind in the name of Ryan Wilson.
Yeah, definitely. The only problem is, Joe, is that we know that once these RCR guys get out front, that they're so hard to pass without any help here. So we'll have to see if, Wilson gets any sort of help, or if he's gonna get left behind. He's gonna go for it right now, but has no one to go with him.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one jumped down low, but he might have just enough to stay beneath Sarah Kirchner. Now he really needs to get help to him, though. The 33 has 4 cars lined up. The 15 has a car about 2 car lengths back. That's DeLello trying to get up there to help Ryan Wilson out as they come off turn number 4. DeLello even looking lower. Here comes Hunter Reed lower than DeLello. That's 3 wide for 3rd. Still up at the front side by side between Kirchner and Wilson. To the line, the lap goes to Kirchner, but Wilson stays to the inside into turn number 1 and now has help from Hunter Reed and Keegan Thompson. Thompson slow in practice, slow in qualifying, but so far Trey fast in the race, winner this race in 2000.
We'll have to see what goes on with these guys 3rd and 4th back. Eli Bright's going to take it down to the bottom, but he's going to get blocked off by Keegan there. And now we got a little bit of a race going on with the 45, but Keegan doesn't feel like staying with them very long right now. Is he going to get enough? He's not going to get there yet.
Reed going to try and lead this next lap here at Talladega. So Ryan Wilson, he did all that work to shuffle Sarah Kirchner out, and as a result, he doesn't even get to lead a lap here today. It's Hunter Reed taking the lead away on lap number 12, but Keegan Thompson going even lower. The car is shuffling around into the tri-oval. Reed gets down to block Keegan Thompson, and the 45 car will lead this lap here at Talladega as they work their way down to turn 1. The pack mostly double wide, some 3 wide further back, but it's Reed, Thompson, Eli Bright, 1, 2, 3. Fitzwater for 4th, and Mitchell Collins looking for the top 5 in number 12. And the audience pick Trey. Justin Atkins starting to move to the front of the field here towards the midway point.
Yeah, he's definitely making his way up there. It's a slow process. There's still plenty of time in this race, so you don't want to push yourself up front too far, then get stuck in the top with time. Wow, that was a lot of words right there. By the time the end of the race comes, Joe, if you're up top, it's not going to be looking good for you.
Yep, that's exactly true. You want to be in the bottom lane in those final 5 laps, and right now. Keegan Thompson in the bottom lane going for the lead here at Talladega as they work their way through the travel. But once again, no help on the bottom lane. All the help is on the top with Hunter Reed getting a big push from Eli Bright. 45 car back clears. They're 4 wide.
Are we looking for again? We're good this time, maybe?
They're going to sort it. Ahmed Wallo just backing out in that 91 way up against the wall. He just decided to surrender every single spot that he had to not wreck his race car. Very smart move right there by Ahmed Walid, keeping his car in the race, keeping it running. At the front, still Hunter Reed leading the way. He's had a very solid car once he's gotten out in front. Here comes Atkins going for second place. Luke Rennie going for third place in the 88. Luke's not had much success here at Talladega, but Trey, coming off the momentum from Montreal with his dominating race victory, moved up to second in the points, trying to chase down Jay Brando's points lead. Luke Rennie right now looking good as Atkins moves to the inside for the lead in the travel on Hunter Reed. He gets a great push from Luke Rennie, and that number 3 car is going to lead this lap of the Aaron's 499.
Yeah, speaking of Luke Rennie, I mean, after a win like that, I mean, you just have all the momentum in the world, especially for your team. And right now, making his way up front at a place like Talladega, that's just going to really increase his, morale and the ego and everything. So we'll have to see if he can keep it up front here. He's going to go to the top here and get a little bit of help from that 45, but this 2 is not going to allow him to get back down to the bottom. And so we're still shuffling here for the lead, but this 3 right now, again, Joe, an RCR car out front, they stay out front.
Yep, you get those RCR cars out in the wind, and they're very good. They're able, I don't know what it is about, the downforce, the aerodynamics of that car, but it just cuts through the air a lot better than some of the other cars out there. Justin Zaidel trying to chase him down for Penske Jasper Racing. Zaidel on a very long windless drought, trying to just cut it and get it over with here today at Talladega, moving up to second in line, and right behind him another RCR car, Sebastian Kukulon, moving up to third, and there's the points leader, Jay Brando, up to 4th place in that number 97. And how about this interesting stat, Trey? In his last 5 races, his finishes in a row, 4th, 24th, 24th, 4th, and 4th. So what's he going to get here today, 4th or 24th?
It's going to include a 4, I know that. That's about the only thing I know. That's a weird stat, right? That's just a weird set of finishes there. But for the most part, it's either you're hitting it in the top 5 or you're missing it completely.
Yeah, but he's been so good this season where, I mean, he just continues to find ways to just have good results. 24th and 24th are some of his worst finishes of the season. Remember the last time we were at Superspeedways, we're 4 wide again into turn
4 wide again.
Turn 1. Hernandez this time is going to be the one on the outside backing out. One of the dominant cars, Kirchner, that's still going to be 4 wide off the corner. But once again, they're going to sort it nicely. So great job everyone there. As Jay Brando is up to 2nd place. And remember, the last time we were at a Superspeedway, he won it in the Daytona 500, then went out the next week and won the next race at the California Speedway. He gets shuffled high, though, by Matt Tuck, who moves down to the inside. But Jay Brando this season has just been so solid and consistent and very dominant, right? I mean, in these 10 races so far that we've run, he has 6 top 5 finishes and 7 top 10s. It's just, if he's running at the front, Trey, he's running inside the top 5, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we'll just have to see. Doesn't really matter, the thing is, Joe, it doesn't really matter where you run during the race. It matters where you finish is the biggest thing, right? So it's always good to have a good car up front, but if you can't keep it up front, then that's a bigger issue.
Yeah, but Jay Brando has found a way to get to the front when it matters most, and right now is a clean race car, while, drivers like Matt as well as Evan Hunter, Chris Jericho there near him in points. Jericho's out, and the other 2 are damaged and a little bit slower. As Baby Ruiz trying to break his way inside the top 2, going for a second on Matt Tuck. Tuck slams that door, and a driver behind who needs something to go right this season. Laura Chung down 34th in the points. If she didn't have bad luck, Trey, she had no luck at all. And here she is up into the top 5, but this is a racetrack. Talladega been very good to her in the past. I mean, the last 3 races, she's gotten top 10 finishes here at Talladega, so maybe she can start something good here today as Benny Lynn, John Barrymore are rubbing into turn 1, and they kept it straight for now. Trey, that is now like 3 times in the last 5 laps or so we've had a close call, but haven't had a crash, just like we saw in lap number 5.
Yeah, I feel something brewing, but it just hasn't hit yet, Joe. And this race is far from over still, as majority of the field now is 2 wide at least, so that's a plus. But near the end of this thing, people are going to be making that 3rd lane and trying to get that 4th lane working, and it's just not going to work out.
The front of the field is looking looking a little bit calmer right now. Maybe they just want to log some laps. I say that, but Jude Martinelli jumps out to the inside for a third on Ruiz, who he might just want to shuffle him out, though, because Ruiz has been the one to try and look to make moves on Matt Tuck for second place the last 2 laps of the back straightaway. It's failed both times, and it's slowed kind of everyone down behind. As you see, most of the field, as mentioned, double file. We're halfway through the Aaron's 499 at Talladega. That early caution flag took out a few cars, but since then we've been clean and green racing, with Atkins leading, trying to pick up where his teammate Kirchner left off. Matt Tuck trying to get up there. Here comes Jude Martinelli trying to get up to the front. He's going for a second on Matt Tuck. The 2 runner-ups in the last 2 Talladega races, Trey, side by side for the runner-up position.
Yeah, we'll have to see if the 6 can kind of push the 77 with a little bit of a run. Looks like they might do it. Are they going to have anything for this 3 who is just absolutely dominating this middle part of the race right now, just like his teammate did in the 33 at the beginning of it? But right now, it's they're just going to decide to battle for second one.
They're looking 4 wide again back here. Ahmed Walid trying to shoot to the inside of his teammate Bibi Ruiz. That, or he's just trying to lift 11 in line, but that was nearly 4 wide as Stout and Richardson, the teammates, don't work together. Richardson moves low for a second, and Atkins straight. That's about the biggest lead you can have at Talladega.
Yeah, but the only problem with big leads, Joe, is that it's going to come with big runs behind you, and normally that means some sort of move. But for some reason, Joe, again, these guys cannot generate any sort of motion on this number 3.
It's strange. Those RCR cars, they get out front, and it takes a car just as strong to make that move. We'll see if Richardson or Luke Rainey, the 2 Fords behind, can do something, because you know that 29 Trey, he's not going to help those 2 Fords. He has his teammate leading. He's like going to try and get an RCR 1-2 here at the front of the field.
Yeah, the only time you'll ever see him try to make a move will probably be the last lap coming to the checkered flag, right? And that's only if he can guarantee that they keep the 1-2 positions. But right now, I think everyone's just still kind of, in a happy place right now, except for Luke Rainey, who makes a move to the inside. Everyone else might be in a happy place, as you can tell, because he has no help here, as now they're starting to move around a little bit. Joe, I think they might be seeing something ahead of them that they don't like.
Yeah, I think when you see a lap car up the road, and when your spotter says, hey, there's a slow car up the road, you want to try and get up to the front of the field and get clear as quick as possible. Because if you stay clear, if you stay single file, when you catch this lap car, Evan Hunter, right, you have free range of where you can go on the racetrack. I want to give a shout out to John Barrymore, number 14 for PPC Racing, up inside the top 5 as they run right now. And number 14 looking pretty good at the front of the field, but it's Atkins right now in a good position once we catch lap traffic. Jerry Chen trying to cut down to the middle. Jordan Stout's there. He gets back up in line. Lathan Strickland, winner here a few years ago. He's moving up to the front as we catch lap traffic. 3 RCR cars at the front of the field. Here comes Evans and Kukulon. Evans leaves Kukulon, but here we go, Trey. Lap traffic. Evan Hunter, 2-time Talladega winner, is the lap car will catch. They're going to catch him in the corner, so Trey, everyone's going to want to try and sweep around to the outside. Atkins will do that. Eli Brett will do that. Lathan Strickland will do that. The inside, not the place to be, and Conrad Evans and Smed Osmond, all those guys right now not happy, but now they're going to be happy because the 36 moves up to the middle lane. But Evans moves up to the middle.
Where are you going to go? Now, they're going to be careful here, because this is going to jumble up this middle section here, and people are going to be trying to make the moves, and that's going to cause more 4-wide situations, Joe.
Yes, it is, and that's where, when we catch lap traffic, that's where some big crashes can happen. And right now, Evan Hunter holding the bottom lane to the dire of Conrad Evans, Smed Osgin, and Tyler Belladonna there, Ryan Wilson. Now he's going to move up, so that's great for Evans to be able to move down to the bottom lane. Now the outside's the place not to be, but really the outside, if a lap car holds up the outside, that's probably the best place it can hold up, because they were going to fall back anyway. It just kind of speeds that process up and makes just kind of this lap traffic process a lot easier to unfold and a lot faster to unfold.
Yeah, and now with this whole line of cars on the bottom, it's really going to take a while for Evan to, if he wants to get back down to that bottom, to get there, and it's going to allow majority of these guys to pass. You can still see holding up that 29, which it's not going to make him very happy, but he's going to look to the middle. I don't know if he's going to get there quite yet. He is going to get there, but they got to be careful.
Yes, they do. They're stacking up here. Keyshawn Richardson is on the outside. So is Jordan Stout, Matthew Burnett, Tim Garrett, Jude Martinelli. They're trying to fall back as quick as possible, get down in line, and keep this draft going. And right now, it's Hunter just holding that third lane, so Martinelli should be able to try and get down to at least the middle here up the back straightaway to try and keep that. Evan Hunter's moving a little bit lower. That might hold up Fitzwater here as Richardson and Fitzwater come together. Now Hunter goes to the middle, so that's going to hold up a few more cars, right? That's about 3-4 more cars that he's holding up. You see Martinelli got low. Ahmed Walid is there. You see Hunter moving down. And Wallet's going to try and get by, and all these guys are trying to keep touch with the main draft, right? If they can at least just keep a sniff of the draft, they can stay in it. But right now, Evan Hunter's not doing them any favors, Trey. If he were just to hold one lane, it'd be fine, but he's going middle, top, and it's just not helping anyone out back here.
Yeah, I don't know if that's because of how the car's handling for him or if he's really just trying to separate this pack for whatever reason that is. I mean, really, it only hurt his own car, right?
Yeah,
because Tim Gary is the 4th car to leave this pack.
Yep, and he's finally going to get around. Mitchell Collins going to be the last one to get around in that number 12, and he's having a rough time of it. And Mitchell Collins, if he can't get low quickly right here, he's going to run the risk of losing the draft. And even with the momentum he lost getting around that 36, he might still lose the draft, even though he does have it right now. But the field now very spread out. We get back to the front where the front 4 cars that got away, they stayed single file. They were trying to get away. Atkins still leading. Luke Rennie in 2nd. Eli Bright in 3rd. Lathan Strickland in 4th, but they've not gotten away. Ryan Wilson leading the charge up to the front pack. Wilson's going to bring Webb, Zidell, Oskin, Belladonna, Evans, and Tuck. Kirchner and Barrymore, Kukulon, Hunter Reed, Nathan Baird, Zach Nolello, Jay Randall, all these guys right here, they're in this draft, this very long draft. They're getting led right up to, and Eli Bright sees that. He's going to try and make the move to use that momentum once it gets there to try and make moves, but he didn't have help. He didn't have the run, and he couldn't make it work. Now Lathan Strickland is going to be the one to suffer from that move.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows you how quickly that can die off, right? Eli Bright had to run middle of the backstretch, went to the bottom, and then as soon as he did that with no help, he lost all that momentum and fell right back in line there. And right now, Drew Webb is absolutely flying right now. Doesn't go with his teammate, or more of his teammate didn't go with him in front of and drop down in front of him. But we'll have to see if maybe he can fall in line behind him.
Eli Bright for 2nd place on Luke Rennie, trying to use some momentum from behind. He knows Webb and those guys are going to have good runs coming. So now Eli Bright's going to try and make this move work. Eli for 2nd. Atkins still leading this race. Here comes Webb in the 84. Zidell in the 2. Oskin. Most of the field is here again. Starting to get caught back up in this main draft. Here comes Zidell, leaving Drew Webb out, going 3 wide for 3rd place. Strickland back down in line. He won't go with his teammate. He'll go low. Here comes Smed Oskin. Some of those guys sure are getting so low, they're nudging the apron going off into turns 3 and 4.
You got to be careful doing that because that's going to shoot that car right back up if you hit it wrong, and it could involve quite a few drivers if you don't do it right. So these guys are, you can tell, Joe, they're starting to feel that we're coming to the end of this thing, and it's time to make your move.
Final 10 laps of the Aaron's 499. Here comes Eli Bright going low for the lead on Justin Atkins. Into turn number 1. Eli has never finished inside the top 10 here at Talladega in 8 starts. His average finish is 25.6. You think of him as being a good super speedway racer. He's been at the front in many of these races, but never at the end has he been at the front. Now he's at the front with 10 laps to go, but quickly got shuffled out by Justin Zidell. Our driver has not won since the 2000 season. Now with his new home, Penske Jasper Racing, looking to get it done here today. Zidell on a little bit of a downstroke. His last 3 finishes outside the top 20, but here he is, Trey, late in the going, up to the lead at Talladega.
You know what I'm just now noticing, Joe? All 4 RCR guys are in the end of this thing, and they are, well, 2 and 2 in both lines, but if we've seen what 2 of these guys can do out front, imagine what 4 of them can do.
Yep, if all 4 find a way together, that would be one heck of a show at the end for those 4 RCR cars who they won this race last season, but they haven't won many races since. They're looking to break a long winless drought here today. But Zidell in a long winless drought, trying to get it done. Lathan Strickland, the home man, trying to get it done here at Talladega. Ryan Wilson looking for his first ever win. Conrad Evans looking to go back-to-back in the spring Talladega races, moving up for 3rd place. Kukulon looking for his first win since 2002. Zach Nolello's never been good here. Here he is trying to move to the front. And oh, by the way, points to Jay Randall still in it to win it. 8 to go at the line. Here comes Ryan Wilson for the lead in the tri-oval. He has up from the RCR cars of Evans and Kukulon, and the Chevrolets on the bottom are going to push easily by the Dodge at the top. Wilson leads with 8 laps to go.
Where do you want to be right now? I mean, like, where is the place to be exactly? It might be, honestly, at the end of one of these lines, if you know, the shuffling effect we've seen take so often goes into effect now that there isn't an RCR guy. But the only problem is, Joe, there's 2 RCR guys up front right now, and they're trying to find their way up front.
I might like to be one of those guys as DeLello goes 3 wide. I might like to be one of those guys that are further back and just getting into this main draft, right? They're still in it. They're still, you know, gaining time, but they're at the back. They're going to move to the inside. They're going to be a good chance to shuffle out to the front of the field here because there's still a lot of time left. 7 laps to go. The only issue, Trey, lap traffic is up the road, and it could, you know, kind of shuffle this field out. It is Mathis Wells that they're going to catch, the champion of 2 seasons ago. Ryan Wilson trying to hold on to the lead once we catch lap traffic. 7 laps left. The points leader Rando up for 3rd, moving by teammate DeLello. Rando trying to continue a stretch of very impressive and solid results. He's up to 3rd place, going for a 2nd straight Superspeedway victory up the back straightaway. He's going to move down in front of Hunter Reed for 2nd place.
That was a late decision, but he seems like he made it work, and we'll have to see if he can carry that momentum. Keegan Thompson's going to jump out of line, make it bottom at 3 wide, but now the 16's actually going to back out when he was up top there and make his way. He's going to fall back big time. He's got no help.
Yeah, he's just trying to get back there as quick as possible, get back down to the inside, find a way up to the front. Here we go. Mathis Wells, the 2nd lap car will catch in this run. Where will he go? Where will the place to be? Wilson going to look to go around the outside. Wells goes to the middle. Thompson shoots to the inside. So Thompson makes work on the bottom. The bottom lane's going to go in the outside lane. Jay Randall, the points that are held up. So is Evans, Reed, and all those others on the top. 2 cars get away. Luke Rennie gets through. Strickland and the pole sitter sprayed to Laura Chung, Ahmed Walid. Everyone on the inside moving through, but the outside not the place to be.
Yeah, definitely not what they were looking for right now. As you can see, Evan Hunter's going to try to go. Evan Hunter. Nope, that's not the one. Conrad Evans. Sorry about that. Is going to try to make it middle of 3, but the 20 decided to block him and let the top side go, but the top side's got no help, so that's not going to work out either.
Look at that bottom lane, how quickly they're moving by. Evans is like, I need to get rid of this other orange car in front of me. He's going to look to the outside, but Hunter Reed is like, all right, I'll fill the hole to the bottom, then to the middle. See right there, Evans backing up. Mathis Wells kind of holding up both of those lines right now. Hunter Reed can't find a way to go. At the front of the field, they're coming together. Luke Rennie, Strickland got the run. They push by Keegan Thompson. They have a massive run onto Ryan Wilson coming off the corner. They're going to possibly look to the inside here off turn number 2, but Strickland did it first, and Luke Rennie had nowhere to go to the bottom, so the 88 gets held up on the top. Here comes Strickland moving to the bottom lane, and here comes Laura Chung, 3 wide for 4th place.
She's got the run on the bottom right now, helped by 2 pretty strong cars behind her, the 24 and the 33. We'll have to see where this momentum's going to take them, if they're going to continue to go to the bottom. They're looking. I don't know if that 48 is going to block or not. Oh, my goodness. Yep.
3 wide. Jerry Chen trying to join his teammate Lathan Strickland to try and get by Ryan Wilson at the front. 4 laps to go in the Aaron's 499. 3 wide for 3rd, 3 wide behind that. Here comes Sarah Kirshner, the dominant car in the first 10 laps. Keegan Thompson, winner of this race in 2000. John Barrymore, the rookie, not made many starts this season, looking for his first ever victory. Jude Martinelli looking for redemption from the last time here, but Jerry Chen leaves his teammate going for 2nd for himself. Help from the other teammate.
Yeah, it's got the you're going against 3 Hendrick cars, 1 RCR car, 1 DEI car, a couple of underdog stories who they've got nothing to lose at this point, right? And you got sprinkled with a couple of Roushes as well.
Yeah, Ryan Wilson, such a horrendous season up until Montreal, got his first top 10 of the season. Now here he is leading at Talladega with 3 laps to go. Here comes Martinelli, as mentioned, wants redemption from the last time out where he finished in a photo finish 2nd place to Evan Hunter. 3-4 cars get clear single file. Keyshawn Richardson looking for his first win of the season, up for 5th. Hunter Reed has never won. He's up inside the top 10. Thompson leaves his teammate going for a 2nd himself. Chen wasn't making the move. Thompson had enough of it. He's going to make the move for 2nd place, but he has no help on the bottom lane.
That just shows you, Joe. You might have teammates throughout the race, but by the time the end of the race comes, no one's your friend.
Well, here we go. Now at the end of this race, Ryan Wilson is hoping that everyone plays dirty behind so that he can stay out in front, clear of traffic. 2 laps to go at the line. 3 wide for 2nd place. Wilson can try and pull away. Hunter Reed makes the big move for Petty Enterprises. 2 laps to go at Talladega. Where does John Barrymore, Martinelli, Hernandez go? Matt Tuck is coming up at the end. He leaves his teammate up to the middle. Sebed Oskin, who won here before, is coming to the bottom lane in the 81. So is Bibby Ruiz. A lot of underdog stories, but it's Ryan Wilson leading for DEI off turn number 2.
He's not going to be leading anymore, Joe. He's got a car to his inside. It's the 45 with... He doesn't really have a lot of help, but that 99 is going to try to push Wilson farther out, but it's not going to get there. We got a race.
Yes, we do. Side by side, Hunter Reed is going to take the lead. John Barrymore for PPC Racing. What an underdog and what an upset story this would be. He's up to 2nd place. Anthony Hernandez looking for his first win in the while. He moves out 3 wide. Hunter Reed keeps the lead. Here's the white flag in the Aaron's 499. Reed in the lead, but a hungry pack of cars behind. White flag, last lap at Talladega. Hernandez for second and trying to chase down Reed into turn 1.
So what did I say at the beginning of this race? We always tend to say his name coming for the lead. It's Matt Tuck. Look at him, third car on the inside line. He's got some help behind him too. What's going to happen on this backstretch? He's going to go high. That's not where you want to go.
Is he going to get a run using the draft in the 1 and the 45? There he goes to the inside. Matt Tuck going for second place. 4 wide for 5th behind them. Off into turns 3 and 4. Matt Tuck is second, trying to chase down Hunter Reed. 2 Dodges lead them through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Wilson gets shuffled up behind them. Here they come into the tri-oval. Tuck looking for a run on Hunter Reed. Into the tri-oval. Second straight season, he'll come up 1 spot short. Checker flag is up. It's going to belong to Hunter Reed for the first ever time. Reed wins in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series.
There was so much going down there. I'm impressed they kept it clean because, Joe, they were looking for, well, they got to be careful here because they're still looking for a wide. They got to make sure people know where they're at. We're still good, I think. Still good?
We've seen crashes after the checkered flag in the past. Hopefully we don't see it here today, and it looks like we won't. But Trey, oh, look out.
Oh, tempers maybe?
Riley Spurley and Jordan Stout.
A little bit of a disagreement?
It looks like it.
All right, we're good.
I'm going to guess someone didn't go with someone.
Yeah, that might be it, but that's just part of Speedway Racing as we're now going to file all them down. But, Joe, there was a lot going on there.
There was, and this man finally broke through. We've said in the past, Trey, Hunter Reed was going to have to win at some point. He had so many good results at so many different types of racetracks. Well, here it is, Trey. Here at Talladega, Hunter Reed found the key to victory, and he holds off Matt Tuck, who for the second straight season, the Aaron's 499 Trey, ends up the runner-up.
Sooner or later, that win's going to come here, right? I mean, it seems like Tuck has the timing and everything down. He's just got to beat that one last car, but this time isn't the case.
Nope, but a really good points day for Matt Tuck, which will move him up closer to the top 35 in owners' points, where he's going to try and get up there so he can qualify, lock his way in to every race for the rest of the season. And how about this for Hunter Reed, Trey? Last season at Talladega, his 2 finishes were 38th and 32nd. So what a big improvement here in 2004 at Talladega.
Yeah, that's a pretty big jump, huh?
Yes, it is. As we'll now go take a look at the finishing results from the Aaron's 499 here at Talladega. Hunter Reed on top at the end. You have to think Roberto Crown Jr., the team owner, going to be very, very pleased with that one as Reed wins it. Matt Tuck in second. Samet Osgen in third. Trey, this is one of the craziest top 10s I think I've ever seen. Osgen third, Mitchell Collins fourth, Hernandez fifth, Zeidel sixth, Atkins seventh, Ruiz eighth, ninth Crown Jr., so both the Petty cars, 10th for Jude Martinelli, so all 3 Penske Jasper cars ended up inside the top 10. How about, Trey, this is funny, 5th, 6th, 7th were 1, 2, 3. That's how does that happen?
I don't question stuff, Joe.
That's insane. How about even further back? Jerry Chen 11th. How about John Barrymore for PPC Racing up at the front for a lot of the race? 12th place. Your driver, Trey. Henry Guo, a very solid day. 13th for that 0 car. Nathan Baird, a solid day. So both the Bill Davis cars inside the top 15. Keyshawn Richardson, once again this season, he likes to finish 11th to 15th. Here it is, another top 15 result for the 99, but once again, not another top 10. Fitzwater with the top 20. Ryan Wilson led at the end, but just got shuffled out. Ahmed Walla to top 20. DeLello and Keegan Thompson there. See Luke Rennie, he actually will gain points on Jay Randall here today. Not too many, but does cut into the points lead. Jordan Stout, Sarah Kirchner, Matthew Burnett, Riley Spurtube, Tim Gary down here all the way to the bottom. 2 Roush cars inside the top 30. Belladonna, and there's the points leader, Jay Randall. One of his worst results of the season, but obviously it will come at a track like this where it's just kind of chaotic. And RCR, they had good cars, but they just couldn't finish all that well. Atkins got a top 10. Sarah Kirchner got a top 30. Then you have Evans and Kukulon just outside the top 30. Benny Lynn, Eli Bright, and Drew Webb were 2 very strong cars here today, but they finished poorly. Tegan Fox, Pre McShane, and Jacob Miller all lost the draft, and then 2 damaged cars 1 lap down. They were Matt Wells and Evan Hunter. Then obviously the 2 cars out, Nathan Stapleton and Chris Jericho from that early lap 5 crash here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Now we take a look at the points. 11 races in, 21 to go. Jay Randall, Trey holding on to that points lead, but a few guys did close in as Randall ended up 30th, and some guys ended up a lot better than that here today. But the Joe Gibbs guys and Evan Hunter, they both faltered here. They all faltered here today as they drop in points after their poor finishes.
Yeah, I mean that's just the way Dega works and the shakeup it can cause, and there's always going to be movement after a race like this, and I think we just witnessed why, because it's a story of guys finishing in spots where they don't normally finish, and either whether it's high or lower or whatever that is.
Well, that's why we love Talladega, right? Is that the unknown happens, and the draft is the big equalizer, and underdog stories, they always find a way to rise to the front, and that happened today with Hunter Reed and Victory Lane. But next time out on JRTV next week, 2 weeks ago we had our first new track of the season at Montreal, and now we're going to another one next time out. It's the first Saturday night race of the season. It's on a short track. We're going racing at the Myrtle Beach Speedway for the Hooters 400 Trey. That's going to be a fun one. Short track racing under the lights Saturday night. And oh, by the way, it's a new track, so there could be some chaos associated with it.
Oh, 100%. And Joe, I think we're all ready for it, but at the same time, we're not ready at all.
No, we'll have to see how it plays out. Short track racing, we saw at Martinsville, very fun earlier this season. We'll see if the drivers race very similar at the Myrtle Beach Speedway next time out on JRTV, next Saturday night under the lights at the short track. But today, it's all about Hunter Reed. Car number 45 and Petty Enterprises win again in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. Reed's first ever win here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Congratulations to he, Crown Jr., and everyone associated with that Petty Enterprises team. But tune into JRTV next week for the first ever NASCAR Nextel Cup Series race from the Myrtle Beach Speedway, the Hooters 400.